Welcome to this episode of the 94twenty podcast, where we talk about the music that we love and the industry that we tolerate.
I've been tripping over myself, falling from this headspace. I've been running from my shadow, scared to let myself show. If there's something you gotta say, if I made you feel some kind of way, say it with your chest, don't be afraid. Say it with your heart. Stuck in my way, no time to waste. I gotta chase my destiny. No time to waste. I gotta chase my destiny. Stuck in my way, no time to waste. I got no time to waste. I got no time to waste. My way, my way, my way, my way, my way, my way, yeah. My way, my way, my way, my way, my way, my way, yeah. My way, my way, my way, my way, my way, my way, yeah. My way, my way, my way, my way, my way, my way, yeah. Gotta go deep, gotta love myself. If I love no one else, gotta go deep, gotta love myself. If I love no one else, gotta go deep, gotta love myself. If I love no one else, gotta go deep, gotta love myself. If I love no one else, stuck in my way, no time to waste. I gotta chase my destiny. No time to waste. I gotta chase my destiny. Stuck in my way, no time to waste. I got no time to waste. I got no time to waste. My way, my way, my way, my way, my way, my way, yeah. My way, my way, my way, my way, my way, my way, yeah. My way, my way, my way, my way, my way, my way, yeah. My way, my way, my way, my way, my way, my way, yeah.
Hey everyone, and welcome to this episode of the 94twenty podcast. That was Taylor Hall with My Way. Hi, Carl and Greg. How are you both doing?
Hello.
Hello, Nicole, and hello, Gregory.
Hello, Carl. How are you? Hello, Nicole.
I just thought of something funny, but and my sister probably gonna get mad at me for saying this, but I just realized I was thinking about my nephew's names are Gregory and Peter. And the other day I was just like, for some reason thinking about the names of the boys on the Brady Bunch. And it was Pete, Gregory,
We got that covered.
Peter, and then Bobby. So I said, Linda, did you name my nephews after the Brady Bunch boy? Anyway, stupid.
Ah, man. I've been on a kind of a Partridge Family kick recently. So
Okay.
Yeah. So the Bradys are probably next.
But you know what's funny about that show? There are certain shows that don't, like for some reason the Monkees, I love the Monkees, but it doesn't translate. You can't do it anymore. It doesn't age. But for some reason the Partridge Family ages. It's cool. I can still watch it.
That is
really-
Little House on the Prairie, apparently.
Anyway,
Well,
Taylor.
we've
Go
done
ahead.
that thing where we didn't talk about the
Taylor
song.
Hall. Yeah, I like that track. Really,
Yeah.
It's like it's got a '70s R&B thing. It's not just.
Terrific mix.
I like some of that boom down, some of that bass shit.
I love
Great.
what they've done, and I don't typically like things that are kind of hip hop influenced, but this was very pleasant, and I thought the mix was spectacular.
You sound so like an old guy right there.
I know. I can't help it. I just don't.
I love what these young kids are doing with the drum beats.
I did. She who will not.
Don't get me on this hip hop.
She will who not be named. I watched her Tiny Desk concert, and I confirmed for myself that I don't like the way she writes songs. So I'm good.
I don't want to criticize anymore.
Yeah.
I think she needs to, I think she knows it too. She's getting oversaturated. She needs to go away from
I think it's starting to happen.
I mean, I guess
you didn't
what
think
we
it was
sh-
possible.
we probably should dive into then what happened at the Grammys.
Well, yeah,
And
she announced her new album, right?
announced her new album. that's
Used the
coming out in
Grammys as a
April.
platform for her new record.
Yes.
What was this thing that happened with Celine Dion?
Okay, so I have many things to say about the
Uh-oh.
Grammys because
Oh,
I
boy,
sat
here we
down
go.
and watched the 3 entire hours of it.
Gosh.
Just for research purposes,
You're
obviously, for this
stronger than
podcast.
I am.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
So, one with Taylor Swift. everyone thought she was going to be announcing Reputation, which is what it is. The fact that she's announcing a new album, one, where does she have the time to record all of these things? And two, she's in the middle of a world tour of like all of her albums. So like, how is this going to fit in considering she's only halfway through it?
Who knows how much stuff she got in the can already? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
So that was one thing. The Celine Dion thing, I personally didn't think
What
of it
happened?
as...
I don't remember.
I don't even know what it is. What happened?
So what happened was, right before the Grammys, the chairman like tweeted something like, "You're never going to believe who we got to present Album of the Year. Like, your jaws are going to be on the floor." Everyone thought it was going to be Beyonce, which it wasn't, and I'll come back to that because I was utterly annoyed.
And what's with the white wig and the cowboy hat? What is she doing?
No, I didn't mind that. I was more mad about Jay-Z and how he
Right,
basically
right.
took that whole like legacy award and then made it like, my wife never won Album of the Year, and like, you know, you're about to give it to someone who's won it 3 times.
Is that what
already, and blah,
Kanye
blah, blah,
West
blah.
did about Beyonce with Taylor Swift years ago?
It is, and
Right.
it's one of those things like, you got some people who are up in arms about it, but then you got the rational people who are like, Beyonce's had some really great singles, but album-wise, has her albums ever actually been that good? Like,
I don't
is she
even
just
know.
a singles person, or
I
is she
can't
an
even tell you
album
one
person?
song Beyonce's ever done.
But the thing is, she's won 34 Grammys for singles, so her music is good in their eyes.
She's
but
won
album-
34 Grammys?
34 Grammys.
So what are
Yep.
they complaining about?
I think
Exactly.
the value of the Grammy goes down with
It does.
circumstances like that.
I hate to say it, but
So-
you know my name used to be for high to call her be nonsense.
Yeah, exactly.
We're about to upset the entire beehive with that. So with the Celine Dion thing, no one really knew who was going to be presenting this award. So
Well, because she's
and
been sick and everyone
she's been
thought she
sick.
had that.
She has stiff person syndrome,
Which I think
So-
is a made-up disease. What does that even mean? Like,
But
it's
when
like-
it's a neurological.
I know,
thing.
but can't they find a cooler name? Stiff
I
person
know.
syndrome.
So people, when she announced Taylor
Thumb
Swift,
won't bend backwards syndrome.
Yeah, right.
Go ahead.
so when she announced Taylor Swift as the winner, Taylor and Jack Antonoff and Lana Del Rey and all those people were up on stage, and she was hugging everyone who came up and whatnot, but she didn't hug Celine Dion.
Maybe
Now,
she was she was too fragile or something.
No. So people were up in arms like, oh my gosh, she dissed Celine Dion, but she's up there hugging everyone and blah, blah, blah. One, she was genuinely looked blindsided that she even won this award. She, in her mind, did not think she was going to win it.
Who?
Taylor. Like, if you saw her reaction when the camera panned to her, she didn't even realize that her name had been called.
That's ridiculous. I don't believe that guy.
So,
She expected to win everything.
two,
She owns
Two.
the planet.
Right. Come on.
she must have been briefed, because you don't really, someone who has the stiff person syndrome, you don't really hug them. You don't touch them. Like, touching
She could have
sets off
gestured to them.
But what she did was, and what the camera didn't pick up, is when Celine gave Taylor the award, Taylor said, "Thank you." And Celine said, "You're welcome." So people are just missing that there was a connection there. And when they were backstage, they did interact.
But
She
this-
did thank
this is
them.
even a
So
thing? Like,
it is a thing. Yeah, that's how
stupid is
boring
the
the
world?
awards were. Yeah.
Well, I saw something on social networks about it, about the big diss, and I'm thinking to
And it's
myself,
not even a diss.
you know,
like,
yeah,
it's
just
so stupid.
so
Why don't
weird.
we concentrate on the fact that Billy Joel performed at the Grammys and he actually did fairly well?
Let me tell you something. Well, Billy Joel can still do it pretty much.
He
I
sings
love his new
butt off.
single.
What
Yeah.
bugged me about that, though, I dug it too when I first heard it. I go, wow. Then I found out he didn't write it.
What?
He didn't write that song.
Who wrote
Wow,
it?
who wrote
Some,
it?
some guy, you didn't know that?
No.
Some guy named Freddie Wexler. He kind of co-wrote it. I think, yeah, that was a co-write.
Of Wexler Entertainment?
I don't know. This guy named Freddie Wexler, he met in Sag Harbor, some young songwriter in his 30s, got a hold
Oh,
of
it's not
him.
the same guy.
You know, yeah, and like condiment to singing this song that he wrote, and
There might
yeah,
be some nepotism there because the Wexlers have been in the entertainment business for 50 years.
I don't know if it's that.
Yeah,
I can't
yeah.
believe you guys don't know that.
Yeah. No.
Billy. I don't think Billy says he co-wrote it. I don't think he wrote it at all.
Yeah.
So it was written by Freddie Wexler, Arthur LaFrance Bacon, Billy Joel, and Wayne Hector.
Yeah,
And it was
all
produced. It was produced by Freddie Wexler, and it
Right.
was co-produced by Emily Hayne. So
what I loved about it, it's a real Billy Joel type song. A little cabaret from me, but but that's what he can do anyway. But I thought it was great. I loved it when I first heard it.
I really enjoyed it. To my surprise, my parents did not.
Really? Are they Billy Joel fans?
They're huge Billy Joel fans. Like, Billy
Yeah.
Joel is
Wow.
one of Billy Joel and John Mellencamp are like two of the artists that I know growing up with in our household, and like Michael Jackson.
right.
But they said it didn't remind them of, they thought that Billy was going to come out with like a new sound and stuff like that. And I was like, why would he?
No, I
He's
love
selling
that
out Madison Square Garden. It's nostalgic.
I love that
Right.
he stayed to what Billy Joel does. He did a Billy Joel song.
So I think that they were disappointed that it wasn't a new sound. It's his first single in like 20 plus years.
What was
So.
the single best moment, since you invested the 3 hours and Carla and I did not? What was the single best 60 seconds of that broadcast?
I think there's two. One, it was Billy Joel, because I always enjoy seeing him.
yeah, I
and
can't find that anywhere, by the way. I can't find that performance.
Yeah, well, he performed right before Album of the Year, and then he took, like, once Taylor got off the stage, he performed again, like, one of his older songs. And then two, I really enjoyed Trevor Noah, the host of it, even though I think people were annoyed by him. I enjoyed the fact that he brought up the TikTok Universal debacle that's going on, but threw it back at TikTok, because to me, a lot of people are getting down on Universal about it. But in my mind, and Carl, you and I have talked about this before, TikTok's a platform. It's not a streaming platform. It's not a music platform, no matter how much it says it's going to be, and you don't own it. So, like, if you are investing all of this time and money as an artist into this platform, but your music is also owned by a record label because you signed a deal with them, you don't own anything. So you have to have multiple different ways that your music is going to be received by the artist, and not get mad when the people that you gave your rights over to decide this isn't a good deal for us, for artists, because of the pennies it gives us based off of the millions that TikTok is bringing in.
I agree.
So he threw it back at them, and I really enjoyed that in the opening. So
He threw it back at TikTok.
yeah,
Right.
which a lot of people haven't. A lot of people have just been complaining, like, oh, Universal, they took my music down, they didn't give us notice, blah, blah. You knew that the contract was coming up. You knew that they were in talks about it. They even sent it out to their artists explaining why they decided not to re-sign with them. And artists, even from smaller labels who are like a subsidiary or an umbrella label under UMG, got their music taken down. You have to read the fine line and the details when it comes to what you're signing. And I think a lot of artists don't realize that. And this is an eye-opening wake-up call for them.
They've never realized.
You know, another thing. Now, tell me if I'm a bad person. I might be a bad person. I don't know. So, but I'll preface it with this. Joni Mitchell.
Okay.
Let me give my 2 cents
see
first.
it?
I did see a few minutes of that. That was
my theory is this, like, for one, Joni Mitchell was phenomenal. She's phenomenal. No, she is phenomenal.
Yeah.
From the 70s, she was in, and you gotta remember, she was also in such a boys club back in the 70s, and she held her own and even betted, all those guys, Neil Young, Jackson Brown. She was like, she plays guitar better than all of them. She sang better than them. Her lyrics were incredible. She was, I think she is the quintessential chick singer-songwriter. She is the mold, Anyway, now jump to now, she's
But
80.
have some self-awareness.
Right, that's my feeling. I'm sorry. Why? Okay, so you are legendary and you are amazing, but why must you make me sit through you being this sad echo of yourself?
Slapping your cane in time on the
Am
stage.
I wrong? Like,
No, you're not wrong.
You're
No,
not wrong.
I think she should come up and get an award. Give her an award. That's fine. She
Yes.
deserves the
like
award.
a legacy award, or
But I don't want to
whatnot.
see her singing and just. I don't know. It bugs me.
So here's the flip side of it. You
No,
have
and everybody knows we're good, and everybody's going, "Oh my God, it's amazing."
Oh my- yeah,
they know
no.
it's not amazing. They're full of shit.
Suck.
So here's the thing. That was one of the things I was looking forward to, just to see if she could still hack it, and she can't. And everyone after it being like, "Oh my gosh, she's amazing, Joni Mitchell performing," blah blah. I'm like,
I think
but she
they're baloney.
can't sing. And then the next person to perform right after is Billy Joel, who's getting up there in age too.
But can do
he
it.
can do it. So it just goes to show you that not everyone should be getting up there and singing, even though they are
If you can
legends
do
and
it-
deserve to be recognized.
My friend saw Tom Jones, who's like 81 at Forest Hill Stadium. Tom Jones, he can still do it.
He burns the house down every single time.
He's still going. It's not unusual. He can still do that nonsense. So if you can still do it, great.
Exactly.
That
Have some
was probably
self-awareness.
one
I
of
agree.
the more disappointing aspects to the Grammys. Olivia Rodrigo's performance was also very lukewarm and subpar.
I saw this video of her doing Uptown Girl with Billy Joel at the Garden. She's like he just picks them out of the audience to sing with him. It's like she's some little teenager.
And while this has become the snarkiest episode we've ever done,
Right.
can I ask an open question related to the artistry of this Carlisle person? Why is she the darling of Americas for?
Brandy Carlisle. She's like the one who, I think she's the one who's like dragged Joni Mitchell out of her house.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because she brought up,
Exactly.
I think she was at the Newport Jazz Festival with her. That's where it started.
And I'm frankly tired of her attire and her like performing side by side with icons.
This is the Who We Hate episode.
Yeah, I just don't get it. I mean, she has access to every iconic artist that's ever recorded over the last 5 years. I don't get it.
I saw one of the performances too. It's like the records she makes are kind of cool, they're interesting, but live, it's like she's just whispering. Like Billie Eilish. Every song is like, hi, I'm going to whisper now. And now I'm singing a song. My brother's going to play the piano again.
Billy, that's exactly how she sounded at the Grammys
I'm going to
too.
whisper again.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a second, Barbie. I'm whispering now.
But Billy
Be quiet,
did
'cause-
win a Grammy, so
Of course she did, because she's whispering. You know?
I think the most surprising win of the night was Miley Cyrus.
Oh, I like me some Miley.
Well, I don't know why it is, but why do I love her?
I
No,
love
here's the
her,
thing.
man.
I think it.
Come out looking like Thunderdome, baby.
And no one expected her to win, and the fact that she won not one but 2 Grammys, I mean, amazing for her. And
And then she say
did.
something like when she wanted everyone to sing along and they didn't sing, she goes, "You know the song, come
yeah,
on."
she
Yeah.
interrupted it and she ad-libbed, and it was amazing.
You all know the song, come on, man.
It was like a throwback to like the late 80s and 90s, her attire
Yeah, she's
too,
like
and
the,
how
she's like the new Cher.
She's my.
Well, I think she's trying to embrace her godmother Dolly a little bit too with the
Well,
hair.
she's just. Well, I don't know why, but I like her more than all the new artists. For some reason, I dig Miley Cyrus. I don't know why.
Yeah. And the more outrageous she is, the more I like it. Right. So kind of prevents me from being the curmudgeon that I want to be.
There's like, I just like, I don't know. It's like, I find, who am I to be the judge of this? But I find people like, I see like them walking the red carpet. I see like Taylor, all her kindness. It seems so
Yeah,
put on.
It's not real. None of it's real.
It seems inauthentic. I don't, her faces are, oh shucks.
There's
Come on,
very
man.
little authenticity in this thing.
Yeah, but I think, but Miley seems to be real. Yeah, hey,
Yeah,
man,
she's like,
I'm winning the Grammys. Anyway, listen to us.
So I would like to get both of your thoughts on the Universal Music Group TikTok agreement debacle that has
Who
at
cares?
least plagued my TikTok feed for the last week.
I think having worked with that level of publisher, I can tell you that there are a bunch of things that they do in the interest of keeping the price high that it's not really in the best interest of the artist. So when they take something away from somebody or say you're not paying properly for it, it's not necessarily in the best interest of the artist, and they shouldn't be commended for it. There's this very kind of esoteric defense of copyright infringement called misuse of copyright, where I'm actually misusing the copyrights I've acquired in order to set the price higher than it should be. I think that the major publishers and the major rights holders a lot of the time border on this misuse of copyright. That's my explanation of how I think about it. I don't think TikTok is all bad. I don't think Universal is all good. I can assure you of that.
Well, and with that said, we have a guest today. Don Kirshner Jr. is here today.
Back.
In today's History of Rock. And today, guys, this is Don Kirshner Jr. 60 years ago today, the Beatles landed at JFK and started Beatlemania and the British invasion. And so that's it, baby. So that's on this day in music, 60 years ago. This is Don Kirshner Jr.
Say what you will, the business was more fun and better when Don Kirshner was in the house.
Right.
I mean, Don Kirshner wouldn't have removed all his copyrights.
Well, the monkeys fired him.
from TikTok. Yeah, exactly.
So, Carl, what are your thoughts on it from like the artist's perspective?
I have no. I really. I don't have no thoughts about it because I'm not with Universal. I don't care. So
Well, for me, I guess because our podcast is all about the independents, I know everyone's getting on Universal for pulling it, and some of the AI stuff I do agree with in terms of like likeness and things getting stolen and wanting to protect the artist that way. But like the independents complaining about Universal that nothing has happened to their music, it's time for them to take advantage of TikTok. Considering
they're
Taylor
stupid
Swift,
because
that's my biggest thing.
It opens the door for them. They're idiots.
Yeah,
so
like the rise of TikTok needs to happen in the independent world right now.
No, but what happens? And I like any of these companies that are trying to put a damper on these social media empires like TikTok. Crush them. I don't care. I think everybody should say no. You can't use our music. All of them.
Just have a backup plan for when things go sideways. TikTok could shut its doors tomorrow.
Who's complaining? Universal artists?
Universal artists and artists who are quote unquote independent, but like signed an umbrella deal and didn't read the fine terms.
So what? They're not making
then
noise.
Even independent, there are some independent artists who are like, I'm so glad I don't have a record deal because.
What's annoying me right now, Nicole? Mm-hmm. Why are we talking so much about music? The second. This is the second episode in a row we're talking about music stuff. Sick of it.
There's been so much that has happened in the last 10 days.
There has been a lot.
And I'm not a big, I hate to say it, I've never was a big fan, but Toby Keith, right?
That was very I woke up at 5 a.m. yesterday.
Well, I know he was sick. I know he was sick.
Yeah, he had stomach cancer. Yeah. But to see that, he was 62. He was so young.
People are saying that he exited well. So
yes.
That's good.
It's sad when anybody dies that young.
I know. But on that note, do you want to hear some more music? We can stop talking about it and listen to it.
That's a much better plan.
Do we have anybody to sponsor us this week?
We do. So we are going to listen to Taylor Hall's next single, which is What I Choose. But before that, we are going to hear from our official sponsor, Bongo Java, in honor of our 4th anniversary that's coming up in a few weeks.
Whoa.
This episode is unofficially sponsored by Bongo Java. Bongo Java, the birthplace of the 94twenty podcast. While Bongo Java got its start a year earlier than 94twenty in 1993, in 1994, Carl and Greg's relationship got started, and in 2020, Carl and Greg visited Bongo Java to create this podcast that you listen to. For more information on Bongo Java, go to bongojava.com.
Shedding layers of my whole self, stepping into this new version of this person I'm becoming. I'm growing out of the patterns we're born into. Time for me to start something that I choose. That I choose. That's what I choose. What I choose. What I choose. What I choose. Waking up and feeling grateful. Used to dream about this version of my life that I'm creating. Memories that I've been making with all of my friends. Late LA nights, all the places we've been. Finding the joy, even when things have been rough and it seems like no win. That's what I choose. What I choose. What I choose. What I choose. Finding the good in the bad moments even when it seems impossible. Finding the strength to go on and keep pushing through every obstacle. Having the faith that all of these lessons will make me unstoppable. Crafting my pain with stories and melodies, making them beautiful. That's what I choose. 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 What I struggle. What I struggle. What I struggle.
You know, I like that she does. I like that she, I love how she says things over and over again. Like in the first way, my way, my way, my way, different ways. And what I choose. Like, but she can use the same line, but sing it different ways and just really drum it in. And I dig that.
I like how positive that is. I mean,
Right.
that's a really difficult thing to do, is to write a song that's like exudes that confidence and that gratitude, you know? That's a hard thing to do, and that was without it being like kind of Pollyannish, right?
Right.
But I thought that was great. I thought it was good. I liked it. I like her.
Well, good. She found us, so she submitted to us back in November, and we're finally featuring her, which is a good
Yeah, a
thing.
lot of people are finding us and noticing.
Yeah, I mean, some great, some not so great.
Well, people just do what they do, you know, and it's like, I think that it's incumbent upon us to say, you know, it's like, okay, well, this appeals to us. That doesn't mean that if it doesn't appeal to us, that it isn't valid. I mean, I've got a whole house full of records that I love some, I like others. Some I bought that I don't even really like. I've only listened to them a couple times. I always approach this as, did that enrich my life, that 2.5 or 3 minutes? And most times I get something out of it, right?
Yeah. Well, and I think, too, it's so fun that we're getting a lot more international submissions who are, like, Googling music podcasts to be on, and we're one
Yeah, I
that
like
comes
that.
up.
What's
so.
great about it is because we're lazy. And we don't have to search for anybody, so they're just finding us. We don't have to be bothered, looking for.
No, we're not lazy. We've put in the work the
We're
last 4
lazy.
years that Google is finally recognizing
Well, I'm
us.
lazy.
so.
That's all. I'm lazy. Anyway,
You're
so
the least of
I think she told us a little bit about herself, didn't she?
She did. She answered our question of the week this week. And the one question she answered this week which was, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, my name is Taylor Hall. I'm a 23-year-old singer-songwriter based in Los Angeles, California. I'm originally from Indianapolis, Indiana. I have a long background in music. My dad is a singer-songwriter, and he does production, so I always kind of followed his shadow, going to the studio and watching him write songs, and I learned how to play the guitar at around 13 years old and started crafting my songwriting. I kind of just played in talent shows, but never really thought I would take it seriously until fast forward 2020. I was leading protests and traveling and speaking about love, and then my dad wrote a song about standing for love, not hate, and I realized that you can put so many messages and so many stories in music that people might not understand when you're just speaking. So I started releasing music and traveling and performing, and now I'm in LA doing community grassroots work full-time as well as music, and I think of my songs as stories and my music as messages. So whether that's speaking about mental health or speaking about finding yourself and your purpose in your 20s, I realize that people can resonate with that. So if there's anything to take from me, it's that all of my songs are parts of my life, and I'm happy that I can share them and help people along their journey.
Ooh, that's good.
She's one of them advanced youngins.
Yeah, man, that's good.
Yeah.
Carl, do you know, or did you ever meet Sam Tate, the guy that I
Oh, yeah,
worked
sure.
with?
Sam and Annie.
Sam and Annie Tate. They wrote many hits back in the day, back in the 90s, 2000s, 2010, probably over 3 decades, but I signed them to the company that I worked for, and Sam is really kind of a songwriting guru for me. I mean, I always was able to help him in the publishing area, give him my opinions and do a little editing and whatnot, but he was just a brilliant guy. And you know what he said to me one time, and I'll never forget it? He said, you know what the hardest thing about being a songwriter is? And I said, I don't know, what's that? And he said, getting up in the morning and figuring out whether or not you have anything to say. And so she certainly she's got a great wellspring of stuff to write about if she has an activist brain, right? I commend her. I think that's great. Plus the fact we just talked about the positivity of it. So she's going to write some great songs.
Very cool. Some people give me hope for the future on this planet, but
There you go.
Neither me or Greg do, but that's okay.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
so anyway, so that's kind of what else? Anything else to talk about?
No, Toby Keith, the Grammys, and TikTok versus Universal Music Group were my 3 topics that I brought to the table.
On your list.
And I had the Billy Joel song. We did that.
Yeah.
All relatively depressing, if you ask me.
The Beatles.
All topics.
Well, I think the most non-depressing thing is it's going to be 65 degrees in Nashville today, and it's going to be sunny. So, stark contrast from 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Are we done?
I think we're done.
Get us out.
All right, everyone. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of the 9420 podcast. Make sure you listen all the way through because we have one more song by Taylor called Caged Bird. For everything we spoke about in this episode, you can go to our website, which is 94twenty.com. That is the numbers 94 and the letters TWENTY. Until next time, we'll talk to y'all later.
Clipping my wings down. No more holding me low down again. No more keeping me boxed in. I'm done blocking my blessings. Time to let them in. Moving mountains out my way, freeing myself from the pain. Need to break me out this cage. Moving mountains out my way, freeing myself of the weight. Need to break me out this cage. I'm learning to fly.